Hello and welcome to Tourismus, your favorite travel show. I'm your host, Glenora Shipura. In today's broadcast, we will take a look at the latest news from the tourism industry, and then we swing over at destinations that we recommend that you must visit, and we round off the show with an interesting topic, be it from the Namibian borders or beyond. We'll be right back on the other side of this. First up in our topics, Paratus Namibia is helping protect Namibia's endangered desert-adapted lions by providing satellite connectivity to the Desert Lion Conservation Trust DLCT remote research station at Mowe Bay. The connection enables researchers to process tracking data, coordinate operations, and communicate with lion ranges in conflict-prone areas such as Puros and Sesfontein. Early warning systems linked to collared lions alert ranges when animals enter high-risk zones, helping to reduce human-wildlife conflict and protect both livestock and lions. With fewer than 100 desert lions remaining, the partnership strengthens conservation efforts alongside the Environment and Tourism Ministry in one of Namibia's most challenging landscapes. In our next topic, 3 organizations from Botswana, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe have been named finalists in the Wilderness Impact Challenge 2026, an initiative recognizing innovative solutions that strengthen Africa's conservation economy. The finalists were selected from more than 80 global applications for developing projects that combine environmental protection with sustainable livelihoods. Zimbabwe's Ele collection tackles plastic pollution through women-led recycling. Botswana's Communities Living Among Wildlife Sustainability promotes wildlife-friendly cattle farming to reduce human-wildlife conflict. And Tanzania's Wild Survivor supports women-led enterprises that use beekeeping and regenerative agriculture. The overall winner, to be announced at the end of August, will receive support worth $100,000 and mentorship from the Wilderness Trust to expand its impact. Moving on, the Namibia Wildlife Resorts NWR has announced that the Fish River Canyon hiking trail has reopened on the 17th of July this year, following a temporary closure due to high water levels. It said that recent water assessments have confirmed that the river is once again safe and suitable for hiking, allowing visitors to return to one of Namibia's most iconic outdoor experiences. NWR, however, cautioned that river crossings may still be slippery, so hikers are urged to exercise extra caution throughout the trail. If the Fish River Canyon has been on your bucket list, now is the perfect time to lace up your boots and experience one of the world's greatest canyon hikes. All right, that concludes our latest industry news. On the other side of this, we take a look at destinations that you must visit.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises. From artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. creative sport tourism,
First up in our destinations, we are at the Madridas Steakhouse, situated at Shop 341 Koets House on Independence Avenue in Windhoek. Madridas Steakhouse has established itself as a go-to destination for lovers of perfectly flame-grilled cuisine and generous hospitality. Renowned for its juicy, expertly grilled steaks, the restaurant also offers an extensive menu featuring succulent chicken, fresh fish, and hearty platters designed for sharing. Have a look.
Looking for a perfect place to enjoy great food, good company, and unforgettable moments? Welcome to Madridas Steakhouse, where every meal is celebration. Conveniently located in Independence Avenue in Windhoek, Madridas Steakhouse is your destination for mouth-watering, flame-grilled, flavored, and atmospheres that feel like home. From perfect grilled, juicy steaks to chicken, fresh fish, and generous sharing platters, every dish is prepared with quality, flavors, and passion. Whether you are dining with a family, catching up with friends, or enjoying a date night, there's something on the menu for everyone. Need a perfect spot to unwind after work? Join them for happy hours where great drinks, amazing specials, and good vibes come together to help you relax the day. For the ladies, they've got something special for you with their popular ladies' night with friends, family, and fun with fantastic food. Feeling hungry? Don't miss their delicious burger specials packed with flavor and served with unbeatable value. It's a perfect excuse to treat yourself any day of the week. At Madridas Steakhouse, they are more than just a restaurant. They are a place where family connect, friends celebrate, and every guest is welcome with genuine hospitality. So whether you are craving for a perfect steak, plan your family dinner, meeting friends for drinks, or simply looking for a great night out, there is only one place to be. Madridas Steakhouse, great food, great people, great memories. Madridas Steakhouse, where every bite brings people together.
In our next destination, Ursula Betway, the Namibia Building Forever project manager, talks to us about living in Oranjemund and the role Namde played in the town's formation. Let's have a look.
Oranjemund was established in 1936, and it was serving the natural diamond mining industry. So all the utilities were free, the water, the electricity, the housing, the maintenance of those houses. So Namdeb ran the private hospital. Namdeb also ran the private school, and funded all the other recreational facilities in the town. And something very important to also tell you is that the town was closed. So under the Diamond Act, when you were staying in the town of Oranjemund, and even visitors coming to town, you needed to get a permit in order to come in. So then fast forward many years, and then you come to the year 2011. So what were those changes? Imagine having a town that was closed, right? Run by a mine, and now you suddenly have to transform that town, to open up that town, normalize that town. And one of the first steps that you need to do in this town transformation journey is then to proclaim the town. So that was a very important date. So 2011 was the proclamation of the town of Oranjemund. Then what followed was 2012. We had the Oranjemund Town Council was elected. And 2017 was a very important year for us because that was when the town was open to the public. And also linked to that, that road between Rospina and Oranjemund, it became tarred. It also formed part of that celebration. And other key stakeholders like OMD 2030 and OMDs also came then to the platform. But one of the things I can tell you that truly was very, very great for us, we were privileged as NAMDEP employees to be able to buy our houses. So suddenly this town, which was like just a place to work, it became a sense of place to us. And today you can even see pensioners in our town. So changes that has happened is the transfer of these services like your water, electricity from NAMDEP to Oranjemund Town Council, the infrastructure and so forth. And yeah, these were some of the major changes that has happened in the town of Oranjemund. And we are still on this town transformation journey. I think it's, look, inherently I'm a person that loves nature. So it's for me an absolute privilege to be staying in such a unique town where you have the international Orange River, you have the desert landscape, the Namib Desert surrounding you, and you also have the Atlantic Ocean. And besides this beautiful setting that we're currently in, you also have a community, a very interwoven community where people really and truly care about each other. And the people and the work that I've got, it's a fascinating work because it's got so many different diverse habitats and facets to it. So incredible people that we work with. So I truly enjoy Oranjemund. NAMDEP's purpose is mining for good. So imagine having this extraordinary gift, gifted to a nation such as Namibia, and using this gift to do good in our communities, where it is within the ambit of NAMDEP, where we can further create value and we can further create positive impact and further contribute, say through the lens of the community. I have to mention things like, say for instance, if you look under skills and education, you know, when you go back in the history of NAMDEP, NAMDEP is a company that back in the day have offered bursaries 10, 20, 30 years ago. And if you follow these individuals, the bursars, you will find that currently we have many senior leaders in the NAMDEP organization, and these people are also scattered across our nation. So that's really a truly exemplary in terms of the sustainable thinking that happened many, many years ago. Something else I have to say is because now if you think about NAMDEP, we've got this, one of the assets we've got is infrastructure. So obviously with the town transformation journey, what the company could then do is then to donate a fully equipped high school to our government, Karib Ams High School. And then also in 2014, some of those officers, just to get the initial school going, NAMDEP also was in a position to also assist in that regard. So those were the things in terms of the skills and the education part. I have to mention this one. When we were hit with the COVID pandemic, the senior leadership team of NAMDEP took the decision to upgrade our laboratory facility so that it become one of a few testing facilities in the whole of the country. And you know how important that contribution was to the southern part of the country. It really pulled through in a very difficult time. And last but not least, if you think about, in addition to corporate social responsibility, locally, nationally, when you are in a town like Oranjemund, you need to think about what's going to happen post-mining. So corporate social responsibility is the ad hoc thing, but the corporate social investment, that's the more longer term thinking, right? So in 2019, NAMDEP established the OMD's Town Transform Agency that assist the community of Oranjemund for diversification in terms of the economy. So now think about the uniqueness of this town. You have Oranjemund Town Council that was established, a process that we were engaged in that. We supported that whole process. They have a strategic management plan. You've got these other players like your OMDs, like your OMD 2030, which is a citizenry group. We currently, the function that we are performing is we give technical support, in-kind support where we can. But now it's on this journey to the town transformation that we form part of it. We are part of the community, but we're not the main player anymore. We allow for these other entities together with us to aspire to work towards a thriving community.
All right, do let us know about some of the destinations that we have recommended and what were some of your highlights. On the other side of this, we get into our To The Point segment. From a rebellious teenager finding direction in the Navy to building one of the Cape Peninsula's best-known independent coffee brands in the Paarl Fleet Coffee Company, co-founder Cheslin Grobble has turned a passion for coffee into a thriving South African business. In this episode, Bridget Fisher sits down with Cheslin to explore the story behind Fleet Coffee Company, how his journey began behind an espresso machine during naval training, and the philosophy of sourcing exceptional beans from around the world before roasting them locally. Let's have a look.
So I think, going back, or started the name Fleet, where it originated from was, I want to backtrack you a bit about who Cheslin is, where Cheslin come from.
Tell us.
So you understand, I think it plays a big role in the story that we have today and the brand that we have today. But not just mine, so the barista as well. So Cheslin obviously got brought up in the Boland, the Wineland area. And I was involved in unfortunate things, I come from a household where gender-based violence was quite a big thing. My mother was married to a guy that was quite abusive, and not exposing them. It wasn't the the airy-fairy household that you think you get exposed to. So from a very young age, I got introduced to anger, violence, and I got introduced to alcohol abuse. Because obviously, where there's gender-based violence, it's basically hand in hand with either drug abuse or alcohol abuse. That's a big thing that we're currently facing in our communities nowadays. I was born into this household where my mother, obviously, she loved me with everything that she had, and she went out of her way to give us the best. So I'm the eldest of three siblings. The one is two sisters, and then obviously Cheslin, which is me. But both of them are my half sisters, so we're not from the same mother, same father. So at a very young age, this guy became very abusive towards me, and that actually forced me to kind of, you want to find your safety somewhere else. And that led me to be associated with the wrong friend groups, and because of that, got exposed to drugs and to all the other stuff. Not that I was a drug addict, but I mean that is the reality, and that's what a lot of people face in our communities.
Definitely.
So eventually, I go through my high school career, and then I met the Lord when I was grade 11. I met a guy called Andre, and in that time period, when I met Andre Botswana, he led me to the Lord. I remember it as daylight. I had to go and learn an instrument to get back into class, because I got kicked out of the class because I was disturbing the class, and the teacher said the only way for you to come back into this class is you need to learn an instrument. Now imagine you in a college school, you have to you have to come and play an instrument and get back into class. Anyway, so I did that. I went and I played not knowing that I will become a worship leader one day, in our church. And that moment kind of shaped or changed the way my track of life. I met Andre. And after 2 weeks of going to practice guitar with this guy and his friends, not knowing that he was Bible school student at the time.
Sure.
Ended up finding out that they're Bible school students, and they eventually, 2 weeks in, they said, listen, dude, you must decide now, what do you want to do here? I'm like, I do not know. They're like, okay, you must give your heart to Jesus. I'm like, what does that mean? And I'm like, okay, cool, let's go with the flow. So ended up doing that, and I think in that 2 weeks, I found family. I found a place where I can belong, where I can be myself, and church became that place for me. And then me and Ivan, I think between the two of us, we had like 250 rand to start a business. It's to this day, it's on our balance sheet. We start. Yeah, that was tough times. They say tough times never last.
Never last.
So I ended up, me and Ivan ended up starting a coffee business. Yeah, I remember this. So I'm sitting in the car, me and Ivan driving back from the airport. Ivan's like, "Cheers, so how much? Hoeveel geld het jy?" Ik zeg vir hom, "I'm like 100 rand." he looks at me, he's like, oh, I also have 100 rand. And we started laughing and we're like, what are we doing? Anyway, so we came back. I borrowed a coffee machine, rented a coffee machine from a guy.
And how much was that?
I think the guy charged me 200 rand to be exact.
rent it out?
For one day, 250 rand for one day. I can't remember. But we borrowed the machine. We were supposed to rent the machine for one day. We ended up renting the machine for 2 weeks. but for 2 weeks at 250 rand. So the Lord was good for us, all that I can say. So the whole idea at that time, there was this organization called Valley of Abundance. They were launching, I think, early Feb. Me and Ivan, we started working on Fleet literally the 24th of Jan, like in the middle of the heat of Wellington heat. I'm talking about 40, 45 plus degrees.
Yeah. Did you have coffee experience? Did you know how to make coffee?
Okay, so let me backtrack a bit. So when I was in the Navy, obviously, when I was training there, I waited at the restaurants and I built up the skill set there. So when I came to Bible school, in my break times, I made coffee to pay for my food. So then me and Ivan, we spoke, and I remember landing, and me and Ivan sat and we had this idea. We bought cheap, I think it was Pep t-shirts, like 20 rand a t-shirt, and we went and we bought these, what do you call it, like, sticker paper, and we ironed on the logo on the shirts. It's like at 12 o'clock at night, me and Ivan were ironing the logos on the shirts. And then we're like, okay, cool, next step is we need to identify 2 guys that we can equip. So we went to an organization called Kula Development in Fairyland. So they work with the less privileged people, and we identified 2 boys there, Christopher and Giovanna. These were our 2 baristas, first baristas. Christopher, not knowing that he was like 5 years older than me, but he's this short. He's like he's as short as my boy now.
Really?
No. He was like, I would say 1.1, 1.2 meters. But he's like this guy, he had his name tattooed the wrong way on his arm. He tattooed himself. But I looked at these 2 boys and I realized this is what God wants us to address. These are the kind of people that we need to say, listen, you might feel like nothing, but let's cultivate a leader, let's cultivate a person, let's cultivate the Father in you for this community. And that's where this idea got birthed. We equipped Christopher and Giovanna. We took them to Ivan's house at the time, and we stood in the Wellington heat. Like, I can't explain to you. We were sweating. We stood in the sun. Ivan had this cheap umbrella that he put in the ground. So now I'm training these guys on this coffee machine that I've borrowed already for a day too long, and tomorrow we have to sell coffee.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember this. Me and Ivan, we rocked up there. I had these 2 guys standing there, and they obviously got no experience, and now I'm the barista. It's like I had to go off. I'm making coffee. I'm telling Giovanna and Christopher, do this, and then okay. So what happened? We did this event called Valley of Abundance. A Valley of Abundance. They launched their day, and on their launch, Fleet actually also launched. That day, the Lord blessed Fleet out of his socks. A lady came to us, a small colored auntie, and she gave us amount of money in an envelope, and she said, the Lord said, this is going to go for a small business. And I've never seen that lady ever since again. And I think just going on, the Lord just opened up doors, and our heart behind the business has always been creating a job. Number one. And number one is developing the person to become the ideal barista for our customers.
What would you say, what would people know your company for?
Well, you can go walk down this main road. At every coffee shop, there's a guy that trained at Fleet in this main road. So we have trained over 120 baristas. Sure. Personally, I've trained 90% of them. So I think for us, it's the legacy that we leave behind, And it's not always glamorous. It's not always the good things. It's you driving into the township and calling a guy on his name and say, come, we're going to shower at my house. And then be willing to be disappointed the next day. So I think that I hope one day people will tell these stories and people get to know these stories.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for spending some time with your favorite travel show, that is Tourismus. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.